What are you doing right now?
I'm asking you what you're wearing.
Nobody even thought about what I was wearing till you brought it up.
You're dressed like a guy playing video poker at 2 a.m., Adam.
And you know what? I like the way I look, because I'm a good person. I don't care about what I wear or what I don't wear.
Wait, did Adam Sandler just sneakily roast Donald Trump in front of the whole world? What started as a harmless joke is now setting the internet on fire, and fans can't decide if it was comedy gold or low-key savage. Is this the celebrity feud 2025 didn't know it needed?
My snazzy gym shorts and fluffy sweatshirt offend you so much that you had to mock me in front of my peers!
Hey, I'm sorry. Adam, I apologize.
I'm going. I'm getting off. I go. Yeah, I'm leaving. I have to. It's not you. No, it's not you. It's him. He's the one. You caused it. But
I'm sorry.
You are all welcome to join me for a game of 5-on-5 basketball at Veteran Park tonight. Midnight tip-off. The guy from Nosferatu. Where is he? He's on my team. One more thing. Shut him in!
Adam Sandler roasting Donald Trump might sound like a rejected Saturday Night Live sketch, but somehow it's 2025's weirdest reality. For decades, Sandler built his empire on goofy man-child characters, fart jokes, and songs about lunch ladies. He's the guy who turned yelling about shampoo bottles into cinematic gold. Political commentary, not exactly his brand.
See you later, man. Adam, what do you think about Trump becoming president?
Come on, man. See you later.
Can you handle it?
Good night.
Good night. Have a good one.
The closest Sandler ever got to controversy was rhyming menorah with Dinah Shore in the Chinooka song. That's exactly why this roast hit harder than a Happy Gilmore golf swing. Nobody expects Sandler to wade into the political swamp, which makes him the perfect wild card. He spent his whole career playing the lovable idiot, the underdog who cracks jokes while the world falls apart.
God for forgiveness. I'm not sure I have. I just go and try and do a better job from there. I don't think so. I think if I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't. I could say absolutely, and everybody. I don't think in terms of that. I think in terms of let's go on and let's.
But maybe that's what made this moment land so perfectly. Because in a timeline where every celebrity seems contractually obligated to take a political stance, Sandler stayed out of the mess. Until now. The real question is, was this all part of the plan, or just classic Sandler chaos? Some say the jab was totally spontaneous. Just a throwaway line delivered in that half-mumbled Sandler drawl that accidentally set the internet on fire.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and it happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions.
Others think this was a calculated masterstroke, a subtle mic drop hidden beneath layers of self-deprecating humor. After all, Sandler's been around long enough to know exactly how one offhand comment can launch a viral storm. Maybe the best theory? This was Sandler just being Sandler. The eternal class clown who can't resist turning even the most serious moment into a punchline.
The Trump Hotel. Oh, nice joint.
Yeah, that's a big.
Soft sheets, very soft sheets. So I get into bed and I'm like, this is amazing how soft the sheets are. And then they told me that Donald Trump breaks in the sheets for you. He lays in the bed. This is not a lie. He lays in your bed for like 2 hours, wrestling around, getting it right. And I know it's true because there were like 3 golden hairs on my pillow.
No, yeah.
1 second, he's accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award. The next, he's muttering something about Trump that sends social media into full meltdown mode. Whether he meant to or not, Sandler accidentally became the hero nobody expected. The comedy icon who stumbled into a celebrity feud like Billy Madison wandering onto the Jeopardy. The only thing funnier than the roast itself? Watching the internet try to figure out if Sandler even realized what he started. It all started like any other night in Hollywood. A glittering event where celebrities clinked glasses, delivered polite speeches, and pretended the after-party snacks weren't just fancy versions of cardboard. Adam Sandler was in his usual laid-back mode, cracking self-deprecating jokes in that lovable, mumbly way only he can pull off. But then, it happened. Nobody saw it coming. Not the crowd, not the hosts, and definitely not the social media managers who would be working overtime within the hour.
Another one, oh, son, you're a disaster, son. Son, you're a disaster.
Somewhere between a heartwarming tribute and a joke about his own questionable fashion choices, Sandler casually slipped in a roast so razor-sharp it could have sliced through Trump's signature comb-over. The line hung in the air for half a second, just long enough for everyone to realize what had just been said. The crowd's reaction was peak Hollywood, a ripple of gasps, followed by that nervous half-laugh where people aren't sure if they're allowed to enjoy the joke or if they should clutch their pearls in mock outrage. Of course, once the first chuckles broke out, the whole room followed. Because let's be honest, nothing unites Hollywood like a perfectly timed jab at the world's most roastable former president. But the real chaos didn't happen in the room. It happened online. Within minutes, clips of the moment were flooding every corner of the internet. The algorithms practically threw a party, pushing the video onto everyone's feeds like it was the second coming of Happy Gilmore. Headlines popped up faster than Sandler could clear his throat. Fans called it the comeback roast of the year. A punchline so effortless, it made everyone wonder if Sandler had been holding on to that zinger since 2016.
You know, you say you want to end this war, but frankly, you don't have the cards, okay? I have the cards, all right? I have skip, I have draw 4, I have reverse, I have get out of jail free. The Supreme Court gave me that one. I have Pikachu and Charmander and Charizard. All I'm missing is a Charmeleon. But without us, you don't have any of the cards, okay? You got no cards. You're playing poker, and Putin's playing Magic the Gathering.
Others were convinced he'd accidentally stumbled into the greatest joke of his career, like a comedic monk who achieved enlightenment without even trying. The MAGA crowd, naturally, went into full meltdown mode, dusting off their favorite insults, washed up, irrelevant, Hollywood elite, as if Sandler hasn't been cashing Netflix checks bigger than some countries' GDPs for the past decade. What made it even funnier was how Sandler didn't follow up. No victory lap, no social media dunking. He just delivered the roast, adjusted his oversized blazer, and shuffled off like nothing happened. It was the comedy equivalent of dropping the mic and then politely handing it back to the sound guy with a goofy smile. By the next morning, the internet had turned the whole saga into meme gold. TikTok editors spliced the roast into Waterboy clips, where Bobby Boucher took down Trump with a flying tackle. Even the conspiracy theorists got involved, claiming Sandler was secretly part of a Hollywood resistance movement plotting against Trump one punchline at a time. The beauty of the whole thing? Nobody knew if Sandler had planned the roast or if he just blurted it out in a moment of accidental genius.
Back when there was fires in California, and Trump literally comes out of the meeting and he goes, "You go to Rachel Lee's. You know, the leaves need to be raised." Joe Biden's cramp at the other end of the dining table. Yeah, no joke. My father lost his job. I'm not kidding around here.
Either way, he'd broken the internet, proving once and for all that even in 2025, the funniest punches are the ones nobody sees coming. As if the internet hadn't feasted enough on the Sandler versus Trump circus, the comedy king decided to sprinkle a little more chaos into the mix. This time by taking a swipe at Trump's latest hot take on fashion. When Trump criticized Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for not wearing a suit during their meeting, because apparently global diplomacy during wartime requires a tailored Armani, Sandler couldn't resist slipping in a perfectly timed jab. The irony was almost too delicious. The man who built an entire career dressing like a middle-aged dad on a Home Depot run was now the unofficial spokesperson for let the guy wear what he wants energy. The internet instantly crowned Sandler the patron saint of baggy cargo shorts diplomacy. It was the kind of subtle roast only Sandler could pull off. No fiery rant, no name-calling, just a few well-placed words wrapped in his signature laid-back delivery.
What was your second question?
My second question for President Zelensky. Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting the dignity of this office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe something like yours. Yes.
And the crowd ate it up. Memes flooded in faster than Trump tweets. Sandler and Zelensky photoshopped side by side, both rocking hoodies and gym sneakers like they were about to drop the hottest lo-fi album of the year. With one casual joke, Sandler had managed to weaponize his entire wardrobe against Trump's suit and tie obsession. It was comedy judo. Effortless, unexpected, and weirdly satisfying. Now the internet is practically begging him to release a stand-up special titled Hoodies Over Hypocrisy. Or, at the very least, drop a diss track where he plays the guitar in basketball shorts while roasting world leaders. If this feud has taught us anything, it's that 2025 might just be the year Adam Sandler becomes the unlikely voice of reason we never knew we needed, one baggy sweatshirt at a time. Adam Sandler's whole career has been built on playing the lovable goofball, the guy who makes weird voices, sings about snack foods, and somehow still makes everyone root for him. He's the comedy world's eternal class clown, not exactly the type to wade into political crossfire. That's why this roast landed like a rogue dodgeball to the face. Nobody saw it coming, and now the internet can't stop replaying the slow-motion impact.
Secret that I have a thing about people dressing well, particularly for the circumstance they are in. You might remember I had a spray in the early days of this program about Senator David Pocock, rocking up to Parliament with so much as a suit and tie on. He was walking around the corridors in a T-shirt. Adam Sandler did much the same today at the Oscars. You know, I really couldn't give two rats about the Oscars, the degenerate nonsense that goes on there. But seriously, mate, if you're rocking up to an awards night, you can do it.
But was Sandler really breaking character, or just leaning into the moment? His humor has always danced on the edge of absurdity, dropping random one-liners that seem harmless at first, until you realize hours later, he just casually roasted your entire life. Maybe that's exactly what happened here. One off-the-cuff joke delivered with that signature half-smirk accidentally triggered a viral firestorm. Or maybe, just maybe, the funny guy finally decided to say what everyone's been thinking. If you dig through Sandler's comedy history, you'll find the occasional jab at the powerful, tucked between fart jokes and songs about grandma's meatballs. But full-on political shots? That's never really been his lane. This roast feels like a curveball from a guy who spent decades playing it safe, which only makes it hit harder. It's the classic nice guy snap, like watching the chillest dude at the party finally lose it after hearing one too many bad karaoke performances. And let's be real, if there's one public figure perfectly engineered for celebrity punchlines, it's Trump. His larger-than-life persona practically begs to be parodied. From the hair to the Twitter meltdowns to the endless supply of self-proclaimed greatness, Trump is the walking definition of low-hanging comedic fruit.
And Adam and I are old friends, and I called him up, and he liked the idea, and then he said, I have another idea, and it involved him dressing in the way that he's most comfortable, which of course was his idea, because he doesn't want to put on a tux. And then his idea was so great, and then that was all Adam. Adam's the king.
The man built an empire out of goofy voices, oversized T-shirts, and movies where fart jokes carry the emotional weight of a Shakespeare monologue. Late-night hosts couldn't resist diving headfirst into the madness. Monologues practically wrote themselves. One after another, comedians rolled out their best Sandler impressions, complete with mumbly one-liners and exaggerated eyebrow raises, imagining a world where Sandler delivered his entire roast in opera man voice. The whole feud quickly turned into a comedy Ouroboros, Trump roasting Sandler, Sandler roasting Trump, and the rest of the world roasting both of them for turning 2025 into the weirdest buddy comedy reboot nobody asked for. The funniest part? Sandler didn't even need to respond. Trump's rant somehow made the original joke land harder, like he walked straight into a punchline nobody had written yet. The more Trump tried to dunk on Sandler, the more the internet doubled down on the absurdity of the whole thing. By the time the dust settled, the consensus was clear. In the battle of comedy versus chaos, Sandler didn't just win, he barely had to lift a finger.
He's very low energy. I'm not used to that kind of a person. Last week, weirdo.
The internet did what it does best, turn a celebrity roast into a full-blown digital circus. Within hours, social media had split into two camps. Changsha Team Sandler, championing the goofy underdog with endless gifs of Happy Gilmore swinging for the fences, and Chanchad's MAGA Madison, a strangely dedicated niche convinced that Billy Madison was a secret deep state psyop all along. But the real chaos unfolded in the meme trenches. Sandler's roast had barely finished echoing when someone unleashed the first viral edit, a clip of the Waterboy with Sandler charging full speed. Only this time, his target wasn't a linebacker. It was Trump's mid-golf swing. Another masterpiece had Sandler photoshopped in Happy Gilmore mode, squaring up to tee off with the caption, "You're gonna die, clown." And because this is 2025, the conspiracy theorists couldn't resist diving in head first. Was this whole feud just some elaborate marketing stunt for Sandler's next Netflix special? Did Hollywood orchestrate the roast to distract the masses from whatever TikTok swore was happening this week? One particularly ambitious thread claimed Sandler had been secretly waiting decades for this moment. A sleeper agent embedded in Hollywood, activated only when the nation needed him most.
Adam, should actors be political? I'm not great at that. I listen to Bob talk and I go, okay. I listen to my conviction is not great. I do believe in.
By nightfall, the internet had officially turned the whole saga into a bizarre form of national entertainment. News outlets were already scrambling for exclusive interviews while late-night hosts were licking their chops. Whether accidental or genius, Adam Sandler had somehow reignited the celebrity feud economy, proving once again that absolutely no one is safe from the meme machine. In a timeline where AI-generated pop stars top the charts and billionaires are squabbling on Mars, Adam Sandler versus Donald Trump somehow makes perfect sense. The sheer randomness of it all feels like the universe got bored, spun a wheel of celebrity names, and decided to gift the internet with its next obsession. It's the kind of absurd plot twist that only 2025 could produce, like a glitch in the simulation where the Happy Gilmore guy suddenly becomes a folk hero in the Great Culture War. What makes this feud so weirdly perfect is how it taps into the internet's favorite guilty pleasure, watching famous people throw shade from the safety of their mansions. Forget policy debates or world crises. Nothing brings the masses together like two rich guys trading verbal jabs while the rest of us meme it into oblivion. The stakes? Absolutely zero. The entertainment value? Off the charts.
In the private sector, he couldn't get a job, believe me. Couldn't get a job. He couldn't do what you people did. You're all retired as hell and rich, okay? He wouldn't be rich. He'd be poor. That's true. But actually, I am.
But beneath the viral chaos, there's a strange kind of symbolism at play. Sandler represents the everyday humor that's been a cultural comfort blanket for decades. The guy who makes movies about man-children fighting alligators and singing about lunch ladies. Trump, on the other hand, thrives on bombast, a walking headline whose entire brand is built on being louder, bolder, and perpetually aggrieved. It's basically goofy dad energy versus eternal Twitter rage, and somehow it feels like a perfect metaphor for the times we're living in. The beauty of celebrity feuds is how they cut through the noise. Climate change, geopolitical turmoil, is AI taking over the planet? All of that can wait if there's a chance Adam Sandler might write a diss track about a former president. No matter how chaotic the world gets, there's something comforting in knowing that the internet will always rally behind two grown men trading playground insults like it's the Super Bowl. Maybe that's the real appeal. The reminder that even in the weirdest timeline, we can still collectively lose our minds over the pettiest of dramas.
I have really nothing better to do. People think I'm controversial, but the truth is, I'm a nice guy. I don't hold grudges against...
Now, the world holds its collective breath. waiting to see if Adam Sandler will escalate this bizarre celebrity feud or retreat back to making movies about guys in oversized t-shirts with surprisingly hot love interests. If there's one thing Sandler knows better than comedy, it's giving the people exactly what they didn't know they needed. A parody song feels almost too perfect, a catchy little acoustic number turning Trump's latest rant into the most bizarre sequel to the Chanaka song nobody asked for, but absolutely everyone would stream on repeat. Meanwhile, Trump is probably already scrolling through Google to figure out which of Sandler's movies to insult next. Happy Gilmore? Too silly. Billy Madison? Total disaster. The Waterboy? Weak. Somewhere, a Netflix executive is quietly drafting a pitch for 50 First Claps, a rom-com where Sandler wakes up every morning forgetting he's in a feud with the former president. Or Big Daddy versus the Don, where Sandler plays a single dad teaching Trump how to be a decent human being. In a world full of chaos, maybe this weird little feud is exactly the kind of pointless entertainment 2025 needs.